Marian Hossa, in a joint statement, will not play the entire 2017-2018 season. A medical situation, a skin condition. Apparently, medication is not helping it, so he'll sit out the season. By the way, Tom Reed will join us later on. He is the color commentator for the Minnesota Wild. While playing for the Minnesota North Stars, he had to retire from hockey for a similar situation, so we'll get his feedback about that later on.
Yeah, it's too bad because Marian Hossa has been well, for sure he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and he's been a terrific 200-foot, Stanley Cup winning, valuable guy on the Chicago Blackhawks, wherever, Ottawa Senators, Atlanta, wherever he's been, Atlanta Thrashers. It's, sad to see it end like this, and luckily for the Chicago Blackhawks, he's retiring or stepping back because of a medical situation, so they don't get dinged with that retirement cap situation that typically a lot of teams are frightful of, which would be almost $3.8 million on their cap. So this is a situation where it's a medical condition, so he can go on LTI. I got to believe if he goes on for 4 seasons, some people will be questioning that, but I don't know the total logistics of it. But number one is you hate to see a guy of that caliber have to leave the game.
Well, the last part is he has 4 years left on a 12-year deal that you can't do anymore, and it's front-loaded.
At $1 million each.
$1 million each. So, yeah, I got to tell you, there's the human side.
Yeah.
Then there was the skeptical side.
Yeah.
Then there was quickly the rebuke that, wait a sec, you cannot question the integrity of the Chicago Blackhawk doctor, whatever it may be. But
We'd never do that.
No, but it was a joint announcement from Stan Bowman, him, and the medical staff. But, as you say, contractually, it couldn't have happened better that way. Personally, it's a huge loss for hockey. We had him on Hockey Central a little while ago, and a huge loss for the Chicago Blackhawks on the ice.
So the question is, at 38, he's not retiring. He's just taking this year off.
Correct, the entire season.
And then they will reevaluate it with a physical next year to see if he can come back and play. And if he can't, then he would just take next season off and on and on. So it's a little bit like the Nathan Horton not retirement, but goes on LTI for the rest of his career. So it's interesting.
No, boys, wouldn't you take 1 year at a time for starters? Like,
if there's any chance you can come back, and I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Marian Hossa obviously has battled this for a long time. We've heard, rumblings of it in the past. So he's battled this for a long time. So it's gotten to a point that it's not tolerable for him to play. Well, and for him to just come out and say, I'm retiring, that would be devastating to the Chicago Blackhawks. So he can't, even if he is retiring, if he's never going to play again, he can't come out and say that because that would be devastating to the Chicago Blackhawks, who have, as you said, have paid him a lot of money.
Well, according to
Scott, no teams will let guys retire anymore if they've got this backloaded situation. They'll get down on their hands and knees and beg them not to retire. Go on whatever we can get you on.
But you have to have a valid reason.
Right, exactly. And that's
to
not...
go on that list. You just can't make this up.
No, and we'd never question the integrity of the doctors. There's no doubt in my mind that, look, if Marian Hossa could play, he would play.
Still playing well.
And they could use him.
Yeah, because this is a serious medical condition. And from a Blackhawk perspective, Marian just went in. As I said, if he said, I'm retiring, that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a medical situation. And it's fair. It's within the rules, and that's what it should be.
Well, and according to the reports, it's that the allergy itself is one thing and not very pleasant, and we'll talk to Tom Reed about what he went through. But the doctors were also concerned about the medication that he had to go on, what it was doing to his body, and right. He was undergoing blood tests and whatever else on a regular basis because of fear of side effects. So it's a two-pronged kind of health situation.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like penicillin is for a lot of us, it's diminishing in its effectiveness, and that's one thing they're saying now. They said that's a problem now. And
your immune system puts up a resistance to it eventually.
Guess what? You can't get at the drugstore. 26 goals.
Yeah, and
people thought he was washed up going into that year and had a great start.
But I'll tell you what. I mean, you think about what this guy, when he came into the league, everybody said, "Hey, this guy's got a chance to be a heck of a player." But what he's become is really spectacular. He's become like a win. I mean, this is a guy that took a 1-year deal when he could have had a huge deal and went to Detroit to try to win a cup.
Yeah.
This is a guy that paid a price. I know he got a big contract. I know he got big money. But this is exactly the type of guy every team is looking for that gives you a chance to win a cup. And this is a guy who comes from Slovakia and has been just a marvelous 200-foot star in the league. And you talk to the Blackhawks, you talk to Scotty Bowman or Stan Bowman or Joel Quenneville about this guy and what he means to the Blackhawks. Wow.
Monday, we're going to have the inductees announced for the 2017 class for the Hockey Hall of Fame. Okay, I don't like playing the Hall of Fame game generally. Marian Hossa and Shane Doan. Both in, one not in. I put Hossa ahead of Doan.
I've got Hossa ahead of Doan as well. And I
got Hossa a lock.
Yeah, I got Hossa as a lock in
Scott?
the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I would think no debate on Hossa. I think Doan may be one that's has to wait a while
Mm-hmm.
to get there.
And
And that's not to diminish what he's done
no,
and how
and
terrific a player he is.
yeah, Shane, I can
Or
see
has been.
Shane with the quality of person Shane Doan is, quality player he's been. I mean, this is a 40-goal scorer. Quality of person he's been, loyalty to an organization. I see Shane getting in too, but I agree with Scott.